Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to discuss Godzilla and Kong, and specifically Dan Stevens, who is the new lead casted for the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong sequel. Now, interestingly enough, up until this point, I, much like most people, have believed that his casting is either a brand new character or that he may be replacing Alexander Skarsgård as Dr. Nathan Lin. Now, again, I firmly believe he was just a new lead casted and a discussion. One thing about the MonsterVerse is it has the tendency to have very little focus, even on, in terms of characters, especially on the continuity of some of those characters. For example, Ken Watanabe Sarazawa was a major factor in 2014, but then if you go into Godzilla King of the Monsters, not as big a factor as Kyle Chandler was, his character, and of course Millie Bobby Brown's character, Madison Russell, and then boom, he's gone. And then Madison Russell in Godzilla vs. Kong didn't have nearly as big a role in that movie as she did in King of the Monsters, and looks like she's not going to be in this next movie. So it's interesting when you see new characters come in and old characters come out. It's usually very unceremonious. And what's interesting about this is I want to present this right here. Now, this was posted by KDM. I'm not sure how long ago exactly, but it was brought to my attention on Friday stream by Childish Landino. And a lot of people, including myself, have had a lot of praise for KDM for providing the information that he has had, and he seems to be in the know. And he, according to this, he's saying that Dan Stevens will be playing the grandson of John Goodman's character Bill Randa. His name is going to be Steven Randa. And this was interesting. I never really thought about this, but when you take into consideration going back to Skull Island, the founding fathers of the Hollow Earth are Bill Randa and Houston Brooks. And normally, under any other circumstance, I would say this is not a big deal. It's not really going to go anywhere narratively because we know Houston Brooks has been played by Joe Morgan in King of the Monsters, and he didn't really have a huge role. I think he had like maybe half a line. They showed him for about 15 seconds. And considering how deep we're diving into the Hollow Earth now, we really have not seen the founding father. Well, obviously Bill Randa died in Skull Island, but you would think since they started delving into the Hollow Earth in Godzilla King of the Monsters, that maybe Joe Morgan's character or the Houston Brooks character would be a bigger role, and really hasn't been. And now it looks like they might be delving into that a little bit. Now, so far the cast for Godzilla and Kong, we spoke about this Friday stream. We did a little cast breakdown, obviously, of who's going to be in it. And what I found interesting was the fact that, you know, we have the Bill, if this is true by KDM, we have Steven Randa, but we don't have any Houston Brooks. Now, again, we're still very early in this information gathering for this movie, and we know there will be more cast members that will be revealed as time progresses. There was also a rumor that there would be a chance that Joe Morgan might actually show up on the Godzilla and the Titan show on Apple Plus. So there's still a possibility of that. And maybe they're going to use the Apple Plus TV show to sort of retcon some of the things that we've always asked questions about. But if I'm a betting man, I don't think they're going to delve too deep beyond Steven Randa's character, if indeed that's who Dan Stevens is playing. I don't see. Now, the interesting thing is, going back to Alexander Skarsgård's Nathan Lind, you would think after breaking through the Hollow Earth in Godzilla vs. Kong, after finally being down there and what happened with him and his brother and so on, you would think he'd be in the movie. You would think his character would be in the movie. It seems almost important because he's one of the first to touch down on the Hollow Earth. So I'm wondering if they're going to write him off the movie, and like maybe he passed away while he was down there. Maybe he died, or some tragic accident, or some monster that Kong fought and he got in the middle and just got killed. I don't know. Alexander Skarsgård, I'm sure they might have approached him to come back. If you guys can't tell, he's been pretty busy in the movie scene. He's made a lot of movies, and he's had a lot of big movies recently, and Northman's one of them. So it could just be that they might go that route, or if KDM happens to be wrong about this post, which is possible, you know, we don't really know until we actually see the movie, then there is a chance that maybe Dan Stevens does reprise the role, but I don't think so. I'm kind of leaning towards KDM's post here, because now that they're in the Hollow Earth, you would think they would want to get the founding fathers of the Hollow Earth in the Houston Brooks and Stephen Ronda being the grandson of Bill Ronda, maybe following up on his work and things like that, wanting to learn more about the Hollow Earth. And Skull Island is supposed to be playing a role in Godzilla and Kong as well. And considering that's where, you know, Bill Ronda died, and so it just makes a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, I'm seeing these movies over time, the last 9 years, and covering them and keeping an eye out for information, and then finally seeing the movies. What I'm learning is that these characters are just surface level, and it's probably not going to be as deep as we might want it to be or might think it might be. I think there is a good chance that Dan Stevens playing Stephen Ronda, the grandson of Bill Ronda, could just be, you know, just to connect things to some extent. It may not go beyond that. Look what happened with Ren Sarazawa, you know, unless you really were paying attention to lore about the movie. If you're just a regular general audience member that goes to the movie to see Godzilla vs. Kong, you're not going to have a clue that Ren Sarazawa is the son of, you know, Sarazawa from the other movies. So, you know, when you take into consideration something like that, there is a chance that even if he plays Bill Ronda's grandson, it may not go beyond just the namesake. So it'll be interesting to see, but I thought it'd be interesting to do a video on this, because one thing that a couple of people mentioned on the stream was they don't see anyone talking about this. And I agree. I didn't know even KDM posted this. It's not to say, once again, that others have not done a video or others haven't maybe written an article or done something. I just haven't ran into them. But I figured, let me do a video on this. I don't think, again, only based on how the MonsterVerse has been in the past, I don't think this is going to be as big a deal as we would want it to be, but it was worth mentioning anyway, because I thought it was interesting. Dan Stevens was the big lead in this movie, so I would think that if he's playing Stephen Ronda, there is going to be some significance there from a story perspective. But if Adam Wingard's gonna direct this the same way he directed the first movie, I don't expect it to get too deep. And if it does, that'd be great. But if I'm just not expecting it based on what we've seen from the MonsterVerse already. They kind of want to focus on the monsters and the action. They want to show their audience a good time. And you know, these are story beats and story elements that we may get in the show. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment. Do you think it's significant if he does play Stephen Ronda? Or do you just think it's going to be surface level? Or do you think that he may not play him at all? He's just going to play a new character? Or is he replacing Alexander Skarsgård as Dr. Nathan Lind? Sound off in the comment section. Until next time, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.